Hello again, YouTube. My name is Bree, and in today's video, I'm doing something a little different. I'm doing some expression studies, which is related to a challenge we have going on a Discord community that I'm a member of. It's Justin Donaldson's Discord community, which is tied to his Patreon and his landscape painting class, so I'll probably mention him again, so all related. But yeah, there's a challenge for this month to do at least one different facial expression every week, and there's a list of recommended facial or emotions that are conveyed via facial expression, and I'm just going down the list. That wasn't required, but I thought it would be fun. So the first one was amusement, the second one is anger, and later in this video I will also do, how did I forget this already? I just painted them today. I am legitimately checking my notes. Awe. The next one was awe, and the last one was concentration. That's really unfortunate that I can't remember something from like earlier today. But in any case, yeah. So basically I wanted to do the same character or the same face just because I thought it would also be good practice. I don't draw the same people or the same characters over and over again, and it's not really a skill I've developed. I just randomly doodle, and if it doesn't look like anyone particular, that's fine. I just draw, I don't know if I should call them characters or what, but it's like a one and done piece. So I thought this would be a really good opportunity to challenge myself to recreate the same character over and over again. And as I don't really have any OCs or original characters, and I didn't want to paint myself, I decided to go with my, I guess, kind of an original character, my Dungeons and Dragons character, my D&D character, who is a half elf, and I've painted him a couple times, once actually on this channel, I believe, and then I've shown him in my A6 sketchbook tour, but I haven't had that much practice with him, and honestly I did struggle a little bit because I am using pictures of my own face so I could get the expression and angle I want, but my face is very round and feminine, so converting it was definitely its own challenge, and yeah, it didn't really work out in some cases. I'm not like super happy with these, I'll admit that now, but it's been really good practice. And once again, like I gave myself maybe 15 minutes for the sketch and then an hour to paint. I know that's like a lot of time for some people, but I still work very slowly. So to me, this is not by any stretch. None of these are finished watercolor paintings. It's just practice and trying something new. So going into it with that mindset, I still managed to be a little disappointed with myself, especially the last one. I completely messed up the jawline and I don't know, everything, so they don't really look like the same character, but you know, I'm still meeting the challenge, I think, hopefully. Haven't posted this week's yet. I'm doing 2 a week, so 2 of these were done technically last week and 2 of these were done this week, so it counts. So yeah, I missed last week's video. I was supposed to have a video up last week for my every 2 weeks, and I took the week off because I've been so exhausted from work and class, and I was actually commuting to work for a couple weeks, which adds an hour and a half to my day in just commute time, but luckily we're back to being remote now, so I have more energy and I should be able to do more painting soon. I just have to get remotivated. One of my problems is when I gave up caffeine, I didn't realize it was going to impact my attention span so much, so I'm not drinking coffee or sodas, and as a result, I'm having a lot more difficult time focusing, so I spend all day trying to force myself to focus on work, and then in the evening, I just like, I veg out. So I should have talked more about what I'm doing already. I mean, I guess I kind of did in a roundabout way. But if you're curious about the thing on my wrist, it's actually a glove meant for like when you're working with a tablet computer. I knew since I was going to be working in this arrangement that my hand was going to be resting on the paper quite a bit. And since I just eaten some greasier food, I know I have a tendency to produce more oils, so I'm just protecting the paper. So that's easier to paint on and keep it cleaner. I'm not like a slime beast or anything, but yeah, I knew that I wanted to paint, where my hand is right now on the right side, and then also on the lower part of the page. When I get to the lower part of the page, I take it off completely, so it's only there for the first part of the video. Like I said, I spent about an hour on each one. I set a timer and then forgot about it, and then didn't set it again for any of the others, so I wasn't perfectly consistent, but I did have the timer on the video for the most part to give me a better indicator of how long I'd spent. The very last one, I actually wasn't paying enough attention to the camera. I know I went over on time, and I totally blamed the cat that was distracting me by sitting on my lap. And there's footage of that too. I threw some cat footage in, but I also didn't realize I was low on my memory card. I hadn't deleted the last video yet, so it cut off on me, and yeah, oops. I mean, there wasn't much more to be done after it cut out, but I was still sad about that. So yeah, at this point, if my audio and video are lining up after I edit my audio, excuse me, I should be working on Anger now, and I already finished Amusement. I think I might have jumped back. I really wanted to go back and add more values, but the time limit was mostly for me because I know I have a tendency to spend too much time on things or obsess over details, and I really didn't want to be doing that. I have a lot of other things to do and wanted to get through these so I could focus on other things. That being said, I totally didn't finish my landscape painting homework this week, so oops. Like I said, the attention span thing's been a bit brutal, and it's been rainy and gloomy constantly, so I don't want to focus on things. So yeah, I definitely got to finish that assignment, so I think it's going pretty well actually. I just need to finish it up. One thing at a time. I'm really happy with my landscape class homework from last week. So you may have seen it. I had a travel sketchbook tour or a travel journal. It really was mostly, I sketched while I was there, but I really finished it and did a lot of painting when I got back. So sometime early 2020, I'd finished a painting of Kilt Rock on Isle of Skye in Scotland. And then for my most recent assignment, painted the same location again, but with gouache, and I hadn't even gone back to reference the original. And I wasn't too happy because I was overthinking everything, and I just, once again, didn't have enough time. But after going back and seeing my original painting from last year, I couldn't believe how much I had improved. And that's all Justin. And and practice. But I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to take this class again, because when I first took it, I was so new to gouache that I was trying to learn how to do landscapes and how to do gouache at the same time, and I was struggling with my media. And this time I'm more comfortable. I wouldn't say I'm comfortable. I'm more comfortable, but it gives me the ability to focus more on the lessons, and I'm getting so much out of it. So I wish I had more time, but I'm really loving going through it again and being able to see that growth from last time. And like I said, I haven't finished my painting for this week yet, but it's going well so far. And even though it's not finished, the structure's there and the values are starting to get there. And yeah, it's night and day from where I was a year ago. And it's always nice to see where you've grown. So who knows, maybe I'll continue doing facial expressions and have very expressive characters in the future instead of drawing everyone looking either sad or smirking, because those seem to be my defaults. At least I'm consistent. I don't know. So yeah, this video is a little long because I didn't want to speed things up too much. I mean, it's obviously sped up. There's clearly, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a good reason, and I'm going to regret it because I'm completely going to run out of things to talk about. So yeah, I'm working still on the anger one. Maybe this one, no, this really should have been about an hour as well. And I really struggled with it. So this is not an expression I've really done before, and I kind of go very gently in with paint. I mean, if you've been here, you know that I don't put down like bold, confident marks. I build up things very slowly, And part of that is a confidence thing, and part of it's just like, I don't know, there's something meditative to me about working that way, and it's far more comfortable. We'll see. One day I'll get more bold and expressive, I'm sure. But in this case, it really is like I'm not confident. So by building things up more slowly, I can see where I'm making mistakes or where something might look better doing it a different way. And it gives me time to go back and course correct, but it also makes the process very slow. And yeah, it's learning. I'm putting lines down and marks down and seeing how it works. And if it doesn't work, I try to lift it and recover. So yeah, I just remembered I also lost some footage here. I don't know where the footage went where I painted the silhouette of the clothing. But it really wasn't something really worth seeing anyway, so it's not the end of the world. And yeah, so that skip will happen at some point soon too, I think. Also soon we should be seeing a little Juno clip, because if I'm not going to put out the best quality content, at least I can include a fluffy kitty to make things better. So yeah, there'll be a Juno in just a moment. She has been very social of late, she's very scared of the thunderstorms, so she's been hiding a lot, but when she does come out, she just wants to be there, wants to be the center of attention, but she didn't really want to show her face, so you get to see a fluffy cat kind of chilling out on my lap, and then we go back to painting the next set, which happened, like I said, a couple days later. So maybe it really was only like 2 days later. In any case, and yeah, these, I don't know, I kind of felt like I restarted and I had a hard time getting into it. So probably because I was slacking on doing my actual homework for my class, and therefore I knew I was doing it bad. But yeah, so I don't think I have too much to say about these. Like I already said, I wasn't really thrilled with all of them. But like it's new. I need to practice more expressive characters, so practice makes perfect, or progress, and I'll get there if I keep at it. I just realized I'm moving my head quite a bit, so I hope the mic's picking me up fairly consistently. If I sound like I'm moving in and out of a tunnel or something, oops. I guess I could fix it, but it's late and I should be in bed already. School nights, work nights, whatever. So, yeah, don't really know what else to talk about with the painting itself. The materials, the palette I'm using is my Schmincke Watercolors, and you may be noticing, just because I did leave in the pans, I think it's far enough away where you can't tell how like disgustingly covered in cat fur everything is. Maybe you can, and you'll call me out on that. I don't know. But when I got this palette, I wanted all the colors, because as a novice going into painting, you think you need all the colors. And honestly, at this point, I'm working with like a much more limited selection. I am still using some of the more opaque colors just to build the skin tone, starting with like the Naples yellow or the Naples yellow reddish, and that's just convenience, and also to kind of push back some of that gray, because if you haven't noticed, the paper's gray. I thought, the more opaque colors might help, I don't know, make me put down more confident strokes, but naturally that didn't happen, so what do I know? But yeah, I really love the cool reds in this palette, and the warm red's actually really pretty too, but Daniel Smith's Pyrrole Scarlet, which is in my other palette, is just as beautiful. So yeah, I don't have an alizarin crimson, but I make two. And then I used a lot of the PB60, which I think it's called Delft Blue in Schmincke. It's the Indanthrone blue that I talk about all the time with the Daniel Smith, but Daniel Smith is kind of more desaturated. So here I occasionally pulled in indigo instead, just to get that more desaturated blue, especially when mixing like the darks. And then I don't offhand know the two browns I'm kind of using. I think one's Venetian red and the other one I'm not sure about. But I didn't want to spend too much time on the hair mixing colors especially, so I had those colors that worked well and I went with it. If I had continued on and done more, I would have definitely mixed in more colors to really get more value and more changes, more in color and color temperature, but this is really about the facial expressions, so it's fine. Otherwise, yeah, this is the sketchbook, once again, made by my friend Spofgh. I think this is the first time I actually used it on a YouTube video with the gray paper. I'd actually filmed a video once before of, is his name Zagreus from Hades? I bought Hades and I played it for like 2 weeks and I haven't touched it since and I feel terrible. But I painted him on one of the gray pages. I think that's all I've done in the gray section. So I really do like working in the gray, and I should do it more with like white highlights too. Oh, there's a cat behind me, so if you hear her scratching, it's a different cat. That's Maggie coming in for the audio and Juno coming in for the video against her will. So otherwise, let's see. A couple videos ago, I painted the Fool from the Farseer trilogy, and I know I've been saying I'm going to do more fan art for Farseer or Realm of the Elderling, which Farseer is the first trilogy in the greater universe that is Elderling. I just finished Tawny Man, so I'm kind of like emotional. I'm broken now, and I'm going to take a break. So this year I've read Farseer, Live Ship Traders, and Tawny Man trilogy, so yeah, I need a break from Hob to recover emotionally, but I still want to do that fan art. The landscape painting class runs through the rest of the month, and then I should have more time to focus on some bigger projects. And that's some more fan art is something I've definitely wanted to do for that series, because it's been such a focal point in my year. Technically, I read the first Farseer book, Assassin's Apprentice, back in December, but the rest were all this year. But yeah, definitely need a break from that series. I've also been listening to the audiobooks for The Expanse, which I'm still not sure how I feel about that series. It's a very popular sci-fi series, and like there are things about it I like, but there are also a ton of things about it that like drive me bonkers. And I know like some of it is probably like related to the show, because things are different. And actually, by watching the show and reading the books kind of like at the same time, it's the most interesting thing to me has kind of been seeing what they changed and what they kept the same. But I think I need a break from that series too. I just got through book 4 and season 4, finished the show first and then read the book, because I don't want to be, my husband's watching the show with me and I don't want to constantly be like, oh, that was different in the book. So it keeps me behaving while watching TV. We don't watch a lot of TV. I watch some by myself, but like my husband and I together will watch like one show at a time. So yeah, we're really boring about TV. And I don't watch a lot of movies either. But I just saw, oh my God, I just went on Instagram before I started doing this recording, and I saw that Why the Last Man is coming out, and I'm definitely going to have to watch that. I love that comic so much. Yeah, so that's Juno's tail. That's not my head. I need to make that clear. That little fluff ball coming up in the corner, if this video is still in sync, is my cat's tail, because she's sitting on my lap at this point and demanding pets. So yeah, I really liked Why the Last Man when I read it long time ago, and I'm really curious about the adaptation. I think it's on Hulu, and I do have Hulu, so I should be good there. But yeah, and my friend gave me his Disney Plus account information so I could watch the Marvel shows, so I'm starting to catch up there. I feel so far behind, but I'm playing catch up and will eventually get there, maybe. I'm never going to be caught up on pop culture. So what else is going on? Yeah, I'm super boring. Like really, I don't meet up with people. No one meets up well, they do. I don't meet up with people, but I talk to people and they're like, oh, what have you been up to? I haven't seen you in a couple of years. And it's like, I go to work, go home, I draw some. I am so boring. I miss traveling, but one of these days I'll go on a trip and I'll have something to talk about. It's been a while since I've had a vacation. I need one of those, even if I just stay home and take some time to like work on a personal project for me, or even just relax. There's nothing wrong with relaxing. I need to relax more. Take some downtime. It just never seems to be the right moment, but that's completely on me. So yeah, I really do want to go somewhere where I could do plein air in plein air painting. But I don't know, I live in Florida and it's really hot, especially this time of year, and if it's not hot, it's raining, so it never feels like, if I have time, if I like don't have anything that I need to get done and I'm like, oh, maybe I could go out and paint, it's raining or it's so hot it's miserable. So one of these days maybe I'll find some spots. I live in suburbia too, so like it's not the best place to paint, and then I'm terrified of spiders, so that I have a hard time with wood sometimes because yeah, I'm also allergic to spiders. To be fair, I have a reason to not like them. I understand their purpose in the world. I just don't personally appreciate them. So yeah, one of these days I'll be able to get out there. Hopefully it cools down. It's still the middle of summer. I have no idea where we are in anything. But yeah, there's a place nearby that I'd like to visit. I think it might be a good place to paint, but I haven't been there before, so we'll see. Maybe I'll eventually get comfortable and take gouache out and do some in plein air. And if I don't get there, maybe one day I'll get to get back to the mountains, take a car ride up there and be able to do some painting there, because that would be super fun. But yeah, there's no mountains near me. It's quite a drive. So, I don't know. I hope that you're all living far more interesting lives than I am, because, yeah, I've got nothing to talk about at this point, she says after speaking for 21 minutes. Wow. So, I just went blank again. So, yeah, working, if things are synced up again, I'm still working. Well, it has to be, because we already talked about Juno's tail fluff. Working on the concentration one. This one, I'm not sure I pulled off the expression, or I don't think I pulled off the character at all, but live and learn. It's definitely an expression. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't like this one, and I spent the most time on it. I think that irritates me more than anything else, but that's okay. I think that's part of why I lost time, because I had to go run to an appointment, and then I came back and I had to go to another appointment. So today this was interrupted a lot, and I lost track of my run time on this one in particular. Hey, Maggie. She doesn't want to say hi. She's not very chatty. She just wants me to go to bed. But yeah, so otherwise, trying to think of anything else to talk about here without going into like complete ramble mode forever. So maybe future plans. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna finish landscape painting class. I'm really enjoying that class. At times, sometimes I just really stress out about it, but that's all like self-imposed. The class is great, and I'm doing auditing for this, so I'm not getting the live feedback, but Justin is so good about giving feedback sessions and like finding positives and ways to improve no matter what your skill level, and I absolutely love attending those sessions. I actually did the feedback for gouache, and I think it really helped, so I'm very much getting a lot out of that and am enjoying it, despite sometimes not wanting to do the assignments because I'm tired. I'm like, I think it keeps coming back to me because I keep seeing my gouache palette set up beside me and the unfinished painting, and it's just like yelling at me indirectly. Otherwise, yeah, I don't think I'll be filming the second part of these facial studies, facial expression studies. I'll come up with something different for the next video in 2 weeks. I'm going to still do 2 weeks, even though I missed the 1 week. That'll still give me 2 videos in August, so I'll still be good with my personal goals there. Otherwise, yeah, long-term goals, I'm not sure. I know part of the reason I did that, I revisited that one location in Isle of Skye, is because I still owe my mother-in-law, who brought us there, a painting of that location. I did want to paint something for them as a thank you, but she specifically asked, she's like, paint me here, this place. I'm like, okay. And I haven't done it yet because I'm awful, but like, there's also the excuse that I haven't seen them in a while, so I had more time to take the time to learn and get better before doing it, and I'm trying to make the most of that opportunity by taking this class and upping my skills, so I think it'll be worth it. And yeah, I know I'm getting pretty close to being done now. The video definitely, like I think I said already, it cut out because I ran out of space on my storage card. Whoops. I need to make sure all the videos are off of it that I don't need anymore. There's also my mini palette work in progress. But, whoops. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and probably sign out now, so you can watch the rest of the video and hopefully hear a little Juno Mew. Otherwise, take care of yourselves. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope to see you in a future video. Bye.